What is up, you guys? So, as promised, today we're going to be going over this article right here that talks about um, the e-bike law that's going to be put into place hopefully soon. And also to make it to where kids that are 12 and under are not allowed to be riding bikes anymore. Therefore, also should not be on the back of their parents' bikes or teenage siblings or whatever, bikes. For safety reasons, obviously. So we're gonna go and read this. Without further ado, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It would really help my channel out a lot. Too many of my channels have been taken down illegally, obviously, by this group of people, and it's disgusting. And I'm gonna be taking my time, obviously, but on appealing my channels. I don't know how to go about it. So I can maybe try to write a letter to YouTube headquarters, although I've tried to do that in the past and they sent me the letter back. I don't know why. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know, but I'm gonna at least try again and then see what happens because I need my channel back. My two main channels, specifically that the one I've had for a really long time, for years and years and years. I was almost literally at 1,000 subscribers almost. And then the one before this channel that I was at like 92 subscribers. So those two I need back specifically. But anyways, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Comment down below what you guys think of all this. And let's get straight into it. So Larry Posner, or the other individual, writes, "Thank you, Tasha." And obviously misspells it. No surprise there. Then doesn't misspell it. Most likely copied and pasted it. I don't know, but anyways, doesn't matter. They do this for clout anyway. So they write, "Thank you, Tasha. Assembly member Tasha Borner wants to require a written test and a state issued photo ID for those without a driver's license. AB 530 would prohibit kids under 12 from riding e-bikes, and it would create an e-bike training program." Dan Weiss says, "Good idea." Oops, I already clicked on that article. Never mind. Why did I click on it again? So let's go ahead and read this. So Encinitas lawmaker proposes making electric bikes illegal for kids under age of 12. Why are there so many ads? Doesn't make any sense. How do we get rid of ads? Because it's like super distracting. Anyways, so by Rachel Bianco, posted at 6:27 p.m. on July 24th of this year. Last updated 7:22 a.m. July 25th. So let's read it, shall we? Encinitas, California, KGTV. The recent death of an Encinitas teenager riding an electric bike has local and state leaders looking at the safety of e-bikes. Brody Champlain Kingman, 15, died just over a month ago after getting hit by a work van while trying to make a left turn onto Santa Fe Avenue from South El Camino Real in Encinitas. Zachary Jolson is a graduate of San Diego Academy, where Brody had just finished his first year. It's sad, but it's also gonna at least turn this around and take advantage of this opportunity to really promote safety with e-bikes, Jolson said. Days after Brody's death, the Encinitas City Council declared a local state of emergency over e-bikes. Now a North County lawmaker is sponsoring a bill that she believes will protect riders. Assembly member Tasha Borner Horvath wants to require a written test and a state-issued photo ID for those without a driver's license. AB 530 would prohibit kids under 12 from riding e-bikes, and it would create an e-bike training program. We should consider maybe 13, 14, or 15-year-olds be exempt from e-bikes said Nico Sagos, owner of Charlie's e-bike and Encinitas. The business owner and a father of two says the proposed law is a good start. I just cringe anytime I see a kid almost get hit. It's like, what are we? Do we want kids to die and ride bikes and be free and all that, or do we want kids to be safe and not die? I want kids to be safe and not die, Sago said. Former Olympic cyclist and Encinitas resident Sean Wallace says he is generally not a fan of more regulation. Anything that regulates cycling is likely to have a net negative effect, whether it's requiring licensing or registration or helmets overall, because the benefits so outweigh the risk, said Wallace. But he says e-bikes and young riders might be the exception. Perhaps kids under 12 don't really need an e-bike. It's not like they're going off doing the grocery shopping or commuting to work. So if they have to actually pedal the thing themselves on 100% kid power, I think that's probably not a bad thing either, said Wallace. Critics of the bill question how it would be enforced. They also question how many riders under the age of 12 have been involved in accidents. The following is the text of AB 530. Existing law defines an electric bike and classifies electric bicycles into three classes with different restrictions. Under existing law, an electric bicycle is a bicycle, and rules pertaining to the operation of bicycles apply to electric bicycles. Existing law prohibits a person under 16 years of age from operating a class 3 electric bicycle. A violation of the vehicle code is a crime. This bill would prohibit a person under 12 years of age from operating an electric bicycle of any class. The bill would state that the intent of the legislature to create an e-bike license program with an online written test and a state-issued photo identification for those persons without a valid driver's license. Prohibit persons under 12 years of age from riding e-bikes and create a stakeholders working group composed of this Department of Motor Vehicles, the Department of the California Highway Patrol, the Transportation Agency, bicycle groups, policy and fiscal staff, and other relevant stakeholders to work on recommendations to establish an e-bike training program and license, because the bill would prohibit certain persons from riding electric bicycles, the violation of which would be a crime. The bill would impose a state-mandated local program. The California Constitution requires the state to reimburse local agencies and school districts for certain costs mandated by the state. Statutory provisions establish procedures for making that reimbursement. So is there like any video on this? I think so, right? So I personally believe, like I said in the other video about this, I think this is a great idea. Basically, it'll make sure that kids are riding safely. And again, when I'm out there, I know it's not all about me, but I'm just saying I'm the one on an electric scooter to make sure that people don't cut me off. Let's go watch the video.
It is underway to tighten the rules on e-bikes and make it illegal for people under a certain age to ride them across California. ABC 10 News reporter Rachel Bianco is joining us to explain. This comes after a recent uptick in accidents. Rachel?
Hi, Kimberly. Those crashes include the death of a local mom last year, and then most recently, an Encinitas teenager was killed. Now, the owner of this electric bike shop is so concerned about what he is seeing on area roads that he has stopped selling the bikes that are most popular among young kids. A month after an Encinitas teenager died while riding his e-bike, the memorial for 15-year-old Brody Champlain Kingman still sits near the intersection where he was hit. Zachary Jolson is a graduate of San Diego Academy, where Brody had just finished his first year.
It's sad, but it's also like gotta at least turn this around and take advantage of this opportunity to really promote safety for e-bikes and everything.
Days after Brody's death, the Encinitas City Council declared a local state of emergency over e-bikes. Now a North County lawmaker is sponsoring a bill that also aims to protect e-bike riders. Assemblymember Tasha Berner wants to require a written test and a state-issued photo ID for those without a driver's license. AB 530 would also prohibit kids under 12 from riding any e-bike, and it would create an e-bike training program.
We should consider.
Before I continue with the video, what I want to say is that one thing that should be on the written test, and also there should also be a writing test, like a driving test, but like writing test, where, if you see somebody on an electric scooter like me, even though there's, I've I've said in the other video the other day that, besides me, I've only seen I want to say 2 or 3 other people over the last few years on electric scooters. And yeah, there's a neighbor up the street from me that has an electric scooter as well, but he just rides it around the neighborhood. For me personally, I ride mine, to and from Rite Aid Shopping Center, to and from Burger Lounge, Starbucks, and all that, to and from the mall. So for me, it's my way of transportation, and I'm very careful. And what really bothers me, and what I truly believe that should be in the written test, and also I would say in the writing test as well, is do not cut people off on electric scooters, because and the question on the written test should be, I'm still trying to think about it, but because I do want to bring this up now in this video, but I also want to bring it up in person at a city council meeting when they finally bring this on the board to talk about it furthermore, because they really haven't voted or anything like that on it. They have just talked about it here and there. Like the recent meeting, that was being talked about. I was like, that's a really great idea. So had I known that was going to be on the agenda, I would have talked about that as well. But the thing is that it really should be, look, what do you do if you see somebody on an electric scooter? Do you cut them off? Do you stay closely behind them? And really, that should be the only 2 questions. And the answer should actually be, you stay closely behind them. Or stay behind them, right? Because I see way too often, every single time, which I'm going to be going down to Rite Aid later on today. I need to get a couple things. But when I go to it's always when I go to Rite Aid Shopping Center, and when I'm leaving Rite Aid Shopping Center coming home. It's always on those streets. Always on that route where I am getting cut off by bike after bike after bike after bike. And it's not just electric bikes that are cutting me off. It's people also on regular bikes as well. So it happens way too often. And, I'm going to be real with you guys. I am sick and tired of having to yell at these people. I don't like yelling at these people, saying, what are you doing? Why are you cutting me off? Do you like cutting me off? Things like that. And I don't like doing that. It makes me feel bad, and it makes me feel guilty for yelling at them. But at the same time, how would it make you feel if I were to cut you off? You see what I mean? So that's what needs to be on the written test. And also, because I'm basically the main person basically on an electric scooter. around here. And as far as like using as transportation, I'm 28 years old, and yeah, I'm still working on getting my driver's license. But I think when it comes to the other test, that and also I do plan on getting a you know I plan on getting my GoPro camera fixed or saving up to buy a new one. I might get it fixed, which I'll go with that in another video. But because I want to be able, what I want to do is, if hey, in order to pass the test, you need to not cut me off as part of the test. You know what I'm saying? You need to get every single question right. You need to not cut me off. And that's what really needs to, it all needs to come down to that. And I am so glad that the owner, right, of this electric bike shop has stopped selling those specific e-bikes that are being used by so many kids these days. And what I've noticed, and here, before I get to that, and before we finish watching the video, is that that also it's dangerous because what I see is that a lot of teenagers, mostly teenage girls, I've noticed pretty much all teenagers, both boys and girls, but I've noticed so much of the time over at Rite Aid Shopping Center, I've noticed that all these teenagers, there's going to be most of the time 2 on the bike at a time, and that's fine. Go to Starbucks, go to the Jersey Mike's, whatever, get something to eat, whatever, get something to drink, but buy a cup holder. So for those of you that see me around on my electric scooter, which is this one right now, right? Obviously, my Segway 9-bot F30 scooter, which is like the best scooter I've ever had over the years, which is surprising. Like, this thing is amazing. The battery life is insane. I'll talk more about the scooter, my amazing scooter, and how amazing it is, and all amazing features, all that stuff in a separate video. But I'm just using that as an example right now. It's that, so you know how you all see me with a cup holder on my scooter? Whenever I go to Starbucks, whenever I go to Burger Lounge, whenever I go to Jack in the Box, I have that cup holder there. I put my soda there, or I put my Starbucks drink there. And and for those of you that see me, like today, for instance, right, when I was at Burger Lounge, and I always, take the rest to go, to take home to give to my dog Cal. And I make sure to, even if I am not going to get anything at Starbucks nearby, I still go in there when I'm done at Burger Lounge, and I ask for a bag because the bag with a handle on it, right? And then I put that bag where on one of my handlebars, right? And hold on to that, and I pay attention to where I'm going, right? I see way too often that people, like teenagers specifically, are riding their e-bikes way too dangerously, as far as they've got their drinking their soda or Starbucks drink in one hand, and they got the other hand on the throttle of the e-bike or whatever, and they're not paying attention. Same thing with their friend sitting on the back of them. They got one hand around their like chest or stomach, and then the other hand with their Starbucks drink or soda. So it is very dangerous to be riding your bike like that, let alone your scooter like that. And I am taking every precaution necessary. And so for those of you that see me riding my electric scooter around, that's why. Right? And when I go shopping at Rite Aid, right, which I'm gonna be going down there to later on today, in a couple hours, I'm gonna go like when it gets colder out, basically. And I make sure to get like a couple of things where I'm just needing 2 bags or 1 bag of stuff. And I know my limit of what to buy. Like, so it's that too. And but what's super concerning though to me is, which I'm going to mention when this is brought up again at the next city council meeting, is that it's very concerning to me when I see these teenagers. They got their Starbucks drink or their soda in one hand, and they got their other hand around their friend, and then the friend that is on the front of the bike, the free hand on the throttle of the bike. So it is very important that we are being safe, and also you do not cut me off. That is another thing. Just because that I may be one of maybe 2 or 3 other people in this city that has an electric scooter and that uses it as a way of transportation to get around town, does not mean that you have every right or any right whatsoever to be cutting me off. I see so many people cutting me off, and yet they don't cut each other off. So bikes are not cutting other bikes off. Bikes are cutting me off on a scooter. So what is the reason behind that? That's what I'm also going to talk about and mention at the next city council meeting, that they talk about this, that they bring this up. So next time that Mayor Keith Blackburn and Priyabha Patel and Teresa Costa and Karen Luna bring this up the next city council meeting, and they put this on the agenda item, that I will bring that up. Be like, yeah, I don't, like, heads up, I don't mean to make it about me, but I'm trying to make it about others who are, on electric scooters as well, even though it's very rare. But I get really upset when people on bikes cut me off, but yet they don't cut each other off. That is what's really upsetting to me as well. So everything about this bill is super smart. I like it. I love it. I think it would be a great thing. And quite honestly, like I said earlier in this video, that we should have the we should have like I said, with the questions, right? So and for the test, the riding test, the bike riding test, in order to pass, and you have to stay behind me on the electric scooter. You have to stay behind me the whole entire way to Rite Aid Shopping Center, the whole entire way to Rite Aid, in order to pass. That's what I want to do, because I'm the only one that basically rides a scooter. And so, because I get really upset, because what makes it okay to cut me off? That's what I get so upset about. And again, I'm being blunt with you guys. I don't mean to yell at all these people. I don't mean to yell at you guys, but you got to understand how I feel, right? I'm just out there riding my electric scooter, trying to get to Rite Aid Shopping Center, do my shopping, and head home, right? So what makes it okay for you on the bike to cut me off, but yet when you see other bikes, you don't cut them off, you stay at a distance, right? That doesn't make any sense, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to apologizing right now in advance. Let's go ahead and continue on with the video.
Or maybe 13, 14, or 15-year-olds be exempt from e-bikes.
Nico Sugias owns Charlie's electric bike. He says the proposed law is a good start.
I just cringe every time I see a kid almost get hit, and it's like, what do we want kids to die and ride bikes, or do we want kids to, and be free and all that, or do we want kids to just be safe and not die? And I want kids to be safe and not die.
Former Olympic cyclist Sean Wallace says he is generally not a fan of more regulation.
Whether it's requiring licensing or registration or helmets, overall, because the benefits so outweigh the risks.
But he says e-bikes and young riders might be the exception.
If we're talking about kids under 11 on e-bikes on the streets? Maybe there's a good point there.
Critics of the bill question how it would be enforced. They also question how many riders under the age of 12 have been involved in accidents. The bill is not expected to be voted on until next year.
So let's just go over real quick and look at this video real quick here where these kids are riding through. So these kids are like, see that? They're like running through like intersections and like that's dangerous. E-bikes, I mean, again, I would say, look, just don't cut me off. And I would love if, I would say as of tonight, as of later on tonight when I go down to Reddit, because I need to go down there later today and get a few things, is that please do not cut me off, follow the law, and just, because I lately I have not felt safe going down to Rite Aid shopping center lately due to the fact that, I feel so unsafe around the fact that knowing that kids, adults, doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, doesn't matter if you're riding an e-bike, doesn't matter if you're riding a regular bike, you are going to cut me off no matter what because you feel like you have to, which you don't have to, and you're not allowed to. Because us on bikes and scooters, we have to follow the same law as if you were in a car. So, and you all see me when I'm using my hand signals, and when I go like this, whether it's you on an e-bike or a bike behind me or a car behind me, it's, hey, don't cut me off. I've been doing that motion for years, right? So please stop cutting me off. You understand me? Because it upsets me to no end. But when I have to go to Rite Aid, like I'm out of a few things, oh, I got enough money. Oh, I'm out of these certain things. Oh, I need to go down there. I'm gonna go down there, and I have to go down there. But at the same time, I don't feel safe because I know I'm gonna be cut off, and it upsets me to no end, and you all know that. So please don't do that anymore. And also, when it comes down to it, between now and like she was saying at the end of the video, that it's not going to be voted on until next year. So now and next year, when it gets voted on, I'm going to just talk about this same thing over and over and over again at every single city council meeting about this, being like, look, we need to make sure that one, kids specifically, like teenagers, when that's fine, they can go get something to eat and drink, they can go to Starbucks, whatever, but because I see it too often, like I was saying earlier, where both of them on the bike, right, as a perfect example that I notice all the time is that both of them on the same bike, the one that's in charge of the bike and the friend that's on the back of the bike has got the person on the front of the bike has one hand on their soda or Starbucks drink and the other hand free. Their free hand is on the handlebar and the throttle of the bike, and then their friend that's on the back of the bike, they got same thing. One hand is they're holding their Starbucks drink or their soda, and then their free hand is the only one that's wrapped around their friend's chest or stomach to hold on tight to them, which is dangerous. So, also the more thing about it, that's what I forgot to say as well, is that make sure that if that's what you're gonna be doing on a daily basis, besides riding your e-bike to school and home, and after school, weekends, summer, whatever, vacations, and you'll be going down to get something to eat with your friends, um, go to Starbucks, maybe drink some of it there, take the rest home with you guys. Make sure that you have a cup holder. Okay. Make sure that you have a cup holder, and also on the bike. And then also what I used to do is, which I don't do anymore, but because I've kind of noticed with this scooter, with the Liquid Smart scooter, and now this scooter, my Segway 9bot F30, I've noticed that with both scooters, that the cup holder that I have that you guys see on that's when I was running that scooter all the time, and then I'm running my 9bot scooter all the time. And you guys see that black cup holder, and I have it like, I have it like those like these like Velcro like straps on them or whatever, which I need to replace, by the way. So they've been on there for such a long time. It's to keep the drink, my soda or Starbucks drink, it's mostly Frappuccino, to keep it secure while I'm riding my scooter. So that's why I have that. Okay. But I would recommend, especially for Starbucks, ask for a bag, and also ask for a one of those like two cup holder things that go inside the bag. Put your drinks in there. And if there's two of you, obviously on the bike, then have the friend that's in charge of the throttle and everything on the bike. Make sure that the drinks are in the bag, handle, and on the scooter. And so that way you want to save the rest of your guys' Starbucks drinks, or you could even, your sodas as well if you want to. I've done that before too, so, you want to finish your sodas or your, Starbucks drinks, and you guys get back to, whichever your friend's house, whatever. So that way you guys are not only riding safely, but also, you're, just riding safely in general. And so, and that's what I would not really like recommend, but say, do this. I'm not recommending, I'm not suggesting, I'm not asking, I'm telling you guys, it's better for your guys' safety and well-being. And, because what I do on a daily basis when I'm on my scooter, and I make sure that I'm doing everything I can to be safe. And, whether, it's, and I'm talking in general, Starbucks drink, soda, whatever. It's to make sure that I have both hands on my scooter and not one hand on my soda or Starbucks drink. And for those of you that have seen me over, sorry, I'm making it about myself, but I'm using myself as a perfect example to tell you guys what I do to make sure that you guys are doing the exact same thing. So for those of you that have seen me over at Jack in the Box, right? I ask for they're in their plastic bags, right? To put my paper bag, right, that they put my food in, put that in the bag, right? The plastic bag. So that way I'm carefully taking it home. And for those of you that see me at Carlsbad Kaiser, right? Carlsbad Kaiser, and I'm going there and I go in the pharmacy, I make sure to bring, one of my one of my small, backpacks or a small like bag with a handle on it. So that way I can put my medication in that bag and safely carry it home. So same thing if you're gonna be going down to Kaiser, getting your medication, and you can safely carry it home because they put it in, that that bag, right? Has like no handles on it, right? And for those that see me go to pet feed, right? I'm getting Cal and her friend Apollo treats and toys now and then. I mean, they obviously know I'm on an electric scooter, so they, put those treats and or toys in a bag with a handle on it, right? Because they know I'm an electric scooter. So I do everywhere I go. I make sure that I have a bag with a handle on it, and if I make sure that if I want to finish my soda or my frappuccino, or I make sure that I put it on my cup holder, make sure it's safely and securely, secure. Which those who see me like fiddling around with that, make sure it's secure, right? So I am just doing everything I can to make sure that I'm safe, make sure I make it home safe, and yeah, I mean that's just how we all need to be, okay? And I am. Do y'all remember when I had that basket on that other scooter, the one that got stolen? Yeah, I know exactly where I bought that basket, and I do plan on buying another one at some point. Don't know when that will be, but I do plan on buying another one. The same. I really like that basket, by the way. It's a really nice basket, and I do want to buy the same one if possible. And you know, I am making sure that I do everything I can to be safe. And when it comes to those goggles, I put them on my head, which I'll grab real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But you guys know I'm talking about these goggles. These things right here. On my computer, I guess like that. Anyways, so I'll have it on my head like this, right? And then when it gets super windy, I mean, I look kind of silly, but it's to make sure that I don't get any debris flying into my eyes while I'm riding my scooter. So I don't know how anybody could ride their bikes without goggles on. It blows my mind. But anyway, thank y'all for watching, and see y'all in the next few videos. I might go live later on tonight. I don't know. But yeah, I will see y'all in the next few videos. Have a great rest of your day. And again, when I go down to Rite Aid later today, or like later on tonight, to do my Rite Aid shopping, just and you see me, I'm not gonna say exactly what time I'm going. I don't know when yet, because I want to relax for a little bit after I upload this up there. This video is uploaded, but I want you all to understand that like I'm not gonna tell you guys what time I'm going down there tonight, but I do need to go to Rite Aid tonight and get a couple things. But please do not cut me off. I am begging you at this point. I'm telling you at this point. And again, why is it that bikes don't cut other bikes off, but bikes will cut scooters off? Doesn't make any sense. All right, see you all in the next few videos. And please, if you see me later tonight on my e-scooter, you know exactly where I'm going. I'm going to Rite Aid, do my Rite Aid shopping. And for those of you that have seen me going to Rite Aid lately, and I bring my scooter inside, I grab that blue basket, put it on the deck of my scooter. That's how I do my Rite Aid shopping now. So even when I get a new lock, I am still not going to lock it outside of Rite Aid, and I'm still going to bring it inside when I go to Burger Lounge, Starbucks, Rite Aid, and Jack in the Box. And I actually now bring it inside when I go pet feed. So I had to bring it inside everywhere I go because I am just too afraid that it'll get stolen again. So the only time I'm really gonna lock it up when I get a new lock and actual the FOSSUM alarm is when I go to the mall. That's about the only time. When I do my normal daily stuff, Rite Aid, Burger Lounge, Pet Feed, Starbucks, Jack in the Box, it's gonna go inside with me because I'm afraid it'll get stolen. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next few videos. And again, if you see me tonight or later on today going down to Rite Aid, please don't cut me off. Same thing with cars too. It's why. I'm not gonna try to explain to you guys a million times why. I have to merge over to the intersection, whether it's the beginning of the intersection or the middle of the intersection, merge into that left lane. The intersection over the freeway to then merge over and then turn. It's because the intersection where I have to merge, no one lets me merge. But y'all let me merge at the other intersection. It's weird. But anyway, and it's for my own safety. Anyways, guys, I will see you all in the next few videos. All right, peace.